Check, check, testing, 1, 2, 3. Ah, fuck it. Yeah. Well, good morning. Thank you for joining me, Susie. That's awesome sauce. Get the air back on. You know what? I had the same issue when we went to see The Dead at Shoreline 95. My friend's station wagon kept stalling out on us. Every time we'd stop, he couldn't get it started. Turns out it was the starter. Luckily, I was along, and I was the volunteer mechanic, so I was underneath that thing with my friend, fixing his car, and we literally did it with minimal tools. He had nothing, right? We had to literally borrow tools, buy certain attachments that we didn't have to get it done, but we got it done, and we got to Shoreline. It was some great stuff, baby. I'm telling you. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go back here. Can I do that? No, it won't let me. It won't friggin' let me. Do 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 do. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna punch on this little guy. Whoa. That's crazy. That's some crazy stuff. Crazy Taxi. Anybody remember Crazy Taxi? Yeah, that was a cool game, man. It was. I dug it. Totally dug it. Do. I don't know who told you I'm doing well. I'll kill him. I'll just kill him. I'm doing alright. I'm doing okay. I am doing just okay. And it's okay. It's okay by me. It's all good. I appreciate the well wishes there, Susie. You're coming to me? Are you coming here? Are you coming to California? Are you coming? Come on. Be here in August. You have to be here in August, man. It's crazy stuff going on. Yep, just getting ready to go camping. Just getting ready to go camping. That's the secret sauce right there. That's the magic. Is I get to go camping. I have to try to think of all the eventualities, right? All of the little issues that may arise on my 5-day camping trip. I got that stuff in my head and I didn't know where it was coming from, right? That's heavy stuff, man. That is some heavy. We might be repeating ourselves here. I'm not sure. There's about an hour left to this this show here. I started my show about halfway through this show. Because I didn't want to start at the beginning. I've started at the beginning before, and then we always miss the end. So I started about halfway through. Through the pre-show, we heard a few songs, Karina, and a lot of drums, and we're still in drums here. I imagine we're going to get to space soon. I am going to turn on my air, because it's a little stuffy in here this morning. So, there you go. And then, yeah. Totally. Why don't we just do that? And then I can just do this. Hi. Totally, I'm here. We're spacing out in drums. We're drumming out in space. I don't know, it's something, I just don't. Oh, I got coffee here. Now there's something special. Coffee. Last night I did a little bit of memory shuffle on my computer and moved off all of the movies onto my special camping hard drive. So I've got that ready. I've got to pick out a few more movies. I want to get some very special old movies to put in there. I need to find Breaking Training. I decided I'm not going to take my projector. I'm just going to take the movies. So I'm going to take Bugsy Malone, Over the Edge, a bunch of the old movies from back in the day. And I'm going to try to find some Bad News Bears and Breaking Training. And along with that, I've got like Tommy, a couple of Grateful Dead shows, what is it, music movies. I've got that stuff. Totally. So I'm like ready, eh? I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I swear I'm not ready. I want to be ready, but I'm just spacing out, man. Oh, baby. So, let me move the yesterday's stuff here. Pardon me. Alright, so this week I didn't look into my files to see if I had done this one before, but we're doing Wash Rag today. Wash Rag is a supergroup made of the musicians from different crazy funk groups. So we got Captain Guitar on guitar, keyboards, flute, congas, David Mayo, bass, keyboards, guitar, and Ron Capone on drums and percussion. And they do big stuff, Son of Fritz, Super Suds, Pow, Bang, Wild Wild West, Clean Up Woman, If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right. All of the stuff they do is without vocals. This is all instrumental stuff. It's really good. Wash Rag. Wash Rag. So there you go. Yeah. Had to leave the car. Wow. And thumb to the station. That's harsh, man. That is harsh. You're totally harsh, man. Yeah. Who played keyboards during this tour, eh? And who was playing keyboards in the 80s, eh? Because that's something that's been puzzling me. Hey, Craig, Simon, how are you? Hey, thanks a lot for stopping by to say hello. I hope you subscribe and come back as an irregular. That would be often. Awesome. Awesome. I'm trying to read here. So we're off to begin with the... And I don't know. The music was weird and disjointed. Whoa. Right? When you go to those places and the crowd isn't quite what you're used to, right? You're used to just deadheads, and they're kind of like, eh. They're like, you know what? I saw a concert out here in the desert, out in the Coachella area. There's a casino, Agua Caliente, hot water casino. And they have the show. It's this big auditorium, right? It's not real big, but it's nice, and it's got these balconies and mezzanines and stuff that go up, and a really nice arena down below, great seating. And I went there because someone had given me, I won tickets on the radio to Richard Marx, right? 1980s dude. So I was like, sure. I went there, and the place was dead. The place was filled. Nobody was getting up and moving around. The same thing when we saw Psychedelic Furs in the same place. It was crazy. Richard Marx even remarked, he said, "What is this? The last time I was here, this place was awesome. You guys are dead. You guys suck. Get up." Right? I'm up in the mezzanine, out of my chair, dancing, playing with my yo-yo, right? Having a ball, screaming. And I look down, and there's nobody moving. There's a couple of people walking up to the stage every once in a while and getting a selfie with him singing. But they're not, nobody's getting into it. And it was really sad. I felt bad for him. It was really, really sad. When we saw Snoop Dogg in the same place, the place wasn't even half full. Right? Seriously, it was really sad. It's really cool. They had horse stripper poles and a park bench and a little DJ area, and they just came out and hung out on the park bench, took their coat off, threw it on the bench, hung out, lit up joints, blunts and shit, passing shit out to the audience. There were so few people there, everybody was getting high. It was great. It was great, man. I'll do another Snoop Dogg concert. Totally. He's probably going to be in a wheelchair by the time I go. But hey. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey. Space is spacing me out, man. He's totally spacing me out. So we're going to look at some 8 tracks here in a little bit. Yeah. We certainly shall. Looking at some more 8 tracks. Haven't listened to the show in years. It was Vince Welnick on keyboards. Thank you. Vince Welnick. Now, who played in the 85 tour? And when was Brett Midland doing keyboards? Because I just want to pick your brain. Because I don't get to talk to many deadheads, so. And I don't have any more of my old bootlegs that I used to have. I used to actually have the show that I saw at Shoreline on tape. Most of it. Well, half of it. I think it was a 90-minute tape. But yeah, I'm like, we're gonna do some 8 tracks here. I might even crank up the electric guitar in a little bit. I know. I think I gotta wake up my wife at 6:45 here on the West Coast. So there is that, man. Well, that was awfully nice of Craig Simon to come by. Totally. It's assembly required. Need a focused audience. I don't have focus. I have you guys, the irregulars. That's it. That's what I got. Focus, focus, focus. Focus. Totally, eh? Totally. It's like for sure, eh? You know, don't you know? Okay. So like, here we go. We're gonna do stuff here. Audience makes the band. Totally. Unless it's a horrible band, then it's like you better get somebody out of the audience up on stage, buddy. Yeah, it's not too often you go to a show, right, and see a horrible performance by a band. When you do local stuff, pubs and bars and stuff, I'm sure WW would attest to this, that sometimes you do see some horrible shit. Just some horrible shit. And there you go. You just get up and walk out. You just get up and walk out. The assholes will boo them off the stage. Right? Right? And that's the good bands that can adjust to the audience. It's like, you know what? We're not quite playing what they're into. Let's try something different. Ba-da-da bang bang bang, ba-da-da bang bang. You know? Sure, try something different, man. Shake it up. You know? If you get to a place and they're not quite what you were planning on playing, well, then you better adjust and play some different stuff. You know, you get more of a hick crowd, you better play some country western. You better get it on. You know, you get to inner city and you're going to want to play something a little harder. You know, Brent was 79 to 90. Oh, okay. That's why I used to hear him a lot on those bootlegs, because that was kind of the era that... I mean, that's cool, man. That's cool. I like his voice. I really liked his voice. He had that raspy voice. It was just awesome. You know. Totally. Totally, eh? You losers. Take off, eh? This is the perfect time to be sitting here playing the guitar during space. Because I could do whatever and I'd kind of fit in. Maybe next time, right? Right. Oh my gosh. I've got a lot of notes from the other day. I'm going to try to work some of this stuff into the video time machine. Because hey, ho ho, my mental disability's got to go. You know what it is, right? The inability to pay attention. That's my mental disability. Short-term memory. What was I talking about? If I hook this tuner up to my finger and turn it on, can I raise an E note? I got a G. I got nothing. Let me hook it onto my tongue. Cut that shit out. Let me turn it off. Anywho. Easy Answers. There's a good song. Whoa. I'm gonna have to make another dead video soon. I think I'm gonna do a 1985 mix. I think I'm gonna take that 1985 set list that I have and just put that to video, because it's got some good stuff on it. Now, when was Jerry's coma? Right, because I saw him in like 87, 88, I believe, something. I can't remember, because that era was a blur. Yeah, it was a total blur. But I don't remember when his coma was. I believe it was before we saw him. But was it after the 85 tour? I don't remember. Because I used to sit around friends who would just talk Grateful Dead all day and all night, right? So I would pick up stuff. But I don't, stuff doesn't stick. All right. So you guys are doing psychotropic drugs and stuff, man, and are able to remember names and shows and dates and stuff. I just smoke pot and I can't remember my fucking name. I know it starts with a C or an M or something. That's M, that's it. Fuck it. Fuck it, man. It's totally crazy. And, totally. Easy Answers. Easy Answers. Woo. Totally. Yeah. Easy Answers. Easy Answers. Fucking A, man. I never found no easy answers, man. I swear there was always hard. It's always hard to figure out, man. Maybe I don't want to know. Totally. What a good day. What a good morning, eh? I woke up this morning and I'm like, shit, I'm alive. That's pretty good, eh? So here I am. Totally. Yesterday was a decent day. The only place I wound up going yesterday was down to the store to get something for dessert. That's it. Didn't have to do anything yesterday. Didn't have to go anywhere. That was the only time that I put on my pants and shoes, was like at 8 o'clock last night to go out to the store. That was it. It was a good day. I just stayed on the couch. I napped. Oh boy, did I nap. I went to sleep before noon and woke up at like 4. Ooh-wee. It was beautiful. I had so much energy last night. I was able to eat, sit on the couch, watch TV for a couple of hours, and then go right back to bed. Of course, I didn't sleep too good last night. Probably because of the Coke I had with dinner late and eating late and all of the sleep that I had during the day. It was great. It was great, You have to understand that I don't get a lot of great sleep or much sleep, so it's like a party day, when I get enough sleep. It really is. So I'm feeling pretty good right now, although I probably will try to take a nap later, just because. But I think I'm going to be doing van stuff over the weekend, where I can get up early, go out, work in the van, get stuff rolling along before it gets too hot out there, because after it gets hot, then I get some cheesy answers, and it's all melted cheese. That's what my wife calls my movies. When I pick out a movie to watch, she's like, oh, this is pretty cheesy. Yep, you got it, man. I'm always flipping it around to the live streaming movies and stuff, and so I put it on some weird stuff. It's even weirder if I actually pick it out to put on. But or Andromeda's Train, I put that on for a little while. And what else did I put on? You know what? I have such a horrible short-term memory that you get them while they're hot. Get them while they're hot and cheesy, baby. My brain just won't let me focus on. If I drift too far off too fast from a topic, I'm lost. I can't get back. I have to literally ask for help. It sucks. As I load another bong hit to destroy my short-term memory even more. That's okay. Because my short-term memory is where my pain lives. So if I can forget where I'm at any point during the now, or the recently now, that's fine by me. Recently now, you like that? I just made that up. That's cool. Recently now. That's like just a minute ago. I kill myself. No, really, I'm fucking suicidal here. I mean, my comedy is just like suicide. There were days between what? Between my knees, where I hold my toast. Where would you like me to hold them, Al? Between your knees. What movie? I'm gonna heat up my coffee while you tell me who said that line and what movie. Palace Detroit. Wow. Tomorrow starts the days between. Ooh, see? You guys got like a code and a calendar and stuff. I'm lost, man. I just put it on and go, whoa. And then I'll be more lost. Days between, eh? Or days, those are those little things that you put between your toes when you're painting your toenails. The days between, right? You gotta put the days between your toes so you can paint your toenails, eh? I believe that's what they're called, eh? Eh? Gotcha. There you go. See? Now I know. Now I know. 8 crazy nights. Yep, there you go. I thought 8 crazy nights, and all of a sudden started thinking of Adam Sandler for some reason. I'm not in his fan base. I like some of his work, but I'm not his key demographic for sure. Anyway, the reference to hold the mayo between your knees, 5 easy pieces, Jack Nicholson in the restaurant ordering a chicken salad sandwich or something, hold the mayo. Where do you want me to hold the mayo? Hold it between your knees. Right, there you go. 5 easy pieces. And there's my little bit of trivia for you. I don't know why. Because I can, I guess. You know, and you can't do nothing about it. And if you want to do something about it, hold it between your knees. No, just forget it. Arr. No, really. There were days. Jack Nicholson. One of my favorite characters. His early stuff was just psychotic, right? He really, even though he was really Jack always, he really mellowed out. He would only do little bits of Jack. But I remember like in 5 Easy Pieces, or that Western that he did with, oh shit, what the hell was her name? Anywho, he was to be hanged, and she rescued him, and because she needed somebody to mine her precious metals, right? So she married him, took it home, said, "You mine this stuff, or I'm going to give you back over to the sheriff." And that was a great one. That was a funny. But John Belushi was in that one. One of my favorites is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, I know, Susie. That's why I picked this one out to put to video, because it's one of them special ones for us, right? I believe my friend Andrew and his then girlfriend at the time were there at the Tampa show. Yeah, they were in a station wagon, same station wagon, and they had a dog, a brown, golden brown shepherd chihuahua mix, just a big golden brown with big fuzzy mane, looked like a little lion. My motto for life was, what would Jack Nicholson do? What Jack Nicholson would do, right? Exactly. Tell them to just fucking hold it between their knees, right? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was one movie that I kind of grew up on in the 80s there, because that's when I was a teenager, had access to the TV and HBO and that kind of shit. So I would see a lot of these movies that I wasn't otherwise exposed to. And Jack Nicholson was one of those guys. It's like, ooh, what's he gonna be in next, right? As soon as he started doing weird movies, you know, then I kind of like mafia movies, gangster type movies, that stuff, you know, witch movies, weird stuff. I just decided to get kind of okay, that's all right. I didn't age well, so I don't expect anyone else to, man. But is he still kicking? Is Jack Nicholson still around? I don't remember hearing about his demise, right? But then again, I live in an alternate Jack Nicholson. There were days. There were days between. Yeah, he's still alive. That's crazy. And what did he do last? 2010. So he hasn't done anything in 15 years. What do you know? In 2010, I'm Still Here. 2010. That was the semi-real documentary thing with Joaquin Phoenix, where he wanted to become a rapper. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. So there you go. Dennis Hopper was another hero. Yeah, Dennis Hopper, one of those young guys from Hollywood, right? Who kind of grew up in that Hollywood thing, like Robert Blake, Jackie Cooper, some of those other, Dennis Hopper, Roddy McDowell, Dennis Hopper, what are some of the other guys like Dennis Hopper? Oh, what's his name? The guy that played on, God, I can never remember his name. He was in that time travel TV show. Right on. Hurry back, and I'll try to use my brain. Let's see. Shit, I can't remember the name of that TV show. I better get a bong hit together here. Anybody there want to help me out with a TV show? Scott Bakula. What was that guy's name? I can't remember the actor's name who was a co-star with Scott Bakula on that time travel show, and I can't remember the name of the time travel show. I don't want to look it up. I like to try to pick my brain. But if somebody can beat me there and tell me what I'm thinking of. Tell me what I'm thinking, please. Right? God, every time I get there, it shoots over to Fifth Element. That's not it. Quantum Leap. That was it. Quantum Leap. The co-star in Quantum Leap. He was a kid actor. A lot of great kid actors, right? Dennis Hopper was definitely one that changed the most. Probably him and then Robert Blake. Roddy McDowell was probably the least changed individual from the beginning of his career to the end of his career. He remained a bachelor his entire life. He was pretty much lived the same life as he did when he was a child. You know, he lived alone. He lived on Malibu, right on the beach. He would take film camera and record his parties or movie stuff. Check out some of the Roddy McDowell home movies. Just punch that into YouTube and check it out. That is really cool stuff. I don't remember that guy's name. Fade away. Totally not gonna fade away. Totally. Let's see. Where am I at here? I don't know, where am I, eh? I don't know. I don't know, eh? Yeah, one of these days I'm just gonna kind of fade out and I'm gonna sit here and not know what's going on. It'll be like, why are there cameras on? Why am I looking at screen? Why am I on screen? Why am I on camera? Is this thing live? What the fuck is going on here? Right? At some point that's gonna happen. I hope I check out permanently before I lose my mind, right? Because if I lose my mind and wake up, so to speak, in this horrible condition, it's gonna freak that person out, right? If I lose my mind and wake up another person, that person is gonna fucking be in a lot of pain, and they're gonna be scared to death, and they're not gonna know what's going on, and that's spooky, you know. Take me now. Whoa. That just like give me chills, man. It like ruffles my feathers, you know. Totally. Okay there, eh? What was I doing? I don't know, eh? I'm just chilling out, eh? Totally. So in about an hour, I gotta wake up my wife. Wouldn't that be bizarre if I checked out live, right? That would be severely heavy, right? If my family comes in here and I'm still live, but I'm not, that would be heavy, man. That would just be severe. What are you gonna do, though, you know? Shit's gonna happen, shit's gonna happen. Well, then I better straighten up my desk if shit's gonna happen. Right, because, you know, you don't want to leave a mess. Don't want to leave a mess behind. There we go, put my pens away. Got my little capo here. Little capo. Looks like a big roach clip. Yeah. Alright. My bong. And then my can cozy here. This is my can cozy from the Lucas Nelson concert. It says Alcohallelujah on the other side there. So I am gonna do that. Well, this is cool. This is totally cool. I mean, the air conditioner. No, I was just thinking about when my friend is there for the camping, he'll probably have some kind of music ability, Spotify, or more than likely Sirius. He's always had Sirius. So that's cool. So I can just put him in charge of the music. Also, I'm going to bring a boombox and a bunch of cassettes and a few CDs, so that'll be cool too. Yeah, I'm hoping that if I get the word out to a few people, I can, you know, get something going on. Since you know, I've been sabotaged. And it's on whoever, you know, has been running amok, fucking about. You know, it's all on them, man. I'm not gonna let them rain on my parade, even though there are forces at work and people out there who are literally doing just that. Just trying to counter effect me wanting to get together with a few people, which is really quite childish and ridiculous. So there you go. Ah, yeah, I was just looking at that too. That's not too shabby, huh? 87. Totally, eh? Yeah, now I'm gonna have to watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, right? Because that's just one of my favorites. Michael Douglas produced that. He got the rights to the book and said, I'm gonna do this, man. Yeah, man. Fucking A. Anywho, I'm just a little spaced out here. Maybe it's the music. I don't know. Were you here the other day when we did the Grateful Dead stuff? Did you see that live show when I had all of my Grateful Dead stuff, my albums and tapes and my book and that kind of crap? Were you there? Cause that was some pretty cool stuff. That was some pretty cool stuff. I didn't realize how much. And then I got done with the show, and I started digging up more Grateful Dead stuff, more records, more 8-tracks. I can't believe how many Grateful Dead 8-tracks I have. They're just spread out everywhere. But yeah, I shared some great, awesome Grateful Dead stuff. And one of the things that I shared was this Grateful Dead scrapbook, and I don't know if you saw that. But we'll have to do another day where we check that out and go through all the Grateful Dead stuff again. And oh, you missed that. Oh my gosh, it's all right. Well, I'll show you the book. I won't go get all the records and tapes and stuff, but I'll show you the book. I picked this book up at a thrift shop. So this is my scrapbook. Grateful Dead scrapbook. And while we look at the cover, I'll do a bong hit. It says, including removable reproductions of artwork, memorabilia, plus a 60-minute audio CD of interviews with the band. The Long Strange Trip in Stories, Photos, and Memorabilia, Ben Fong Torres. But I'll go ahead and share this with you, and then it's got the back cover, and it just kind of shows you what's in it. Alright, so it's got a lot of stuff in it, and I found it, and the neat thing about it is that it's complete. Everything is in here. Somebody who had it did not take the stuff out of it. Here's the CD, and it's got the set list on the CD from the interviews, and then it's just a great collection of everything Grateful Dead, right? And I really love that they just start at the beginning. And there's Pigpen. And take it from there, you know? Yep. Just great stuff. Just great stuff. And then you've got these great stories, dog hair. You've got these great stories, and then you get tickets, you get posters, the photos, stuff about the songs. I Know You Rider, Summer's Coming, 66, 67. Can you pass the acid test? I'm sure we've all passed. And then there's a poster for the show. Yeah. And it has great stuff built into it that opens up, and it's just amazing. It's really amazing, the stuff that's in this book. Yeah. And it keeps coming. And not only does stuff glued in the book, but it's got these great envelope pocket things where you can actually remove stuff. And that's what really blew me away, was the fact that somebody had the presence of mind to keep everything in here and not take it out and not destroy it or put it in a frame and then it's separated from the whole, right? Totally, eh? And this one here is the Grateful Dead version 1, and it's got the band, right? The bios on all of the band members, right? And then it's got the different versions of the Grateful Dead, version 11, right? Page 2. It's just crazy weird, right? And this book is really cool. It's complete. It's got a lot of... I sat on those stairs in 95. We sat and hang out. Got a photo. I don't remember who has the photo. But I remember we went over there. Somebody lives there, and it's like, we didn't want to impose too much, so we showed up, we sat down, we got a quick photo, lit up a joint, and walked down the street. And that was about the best we could do. But it was fun. It was fun. And we stayed the night in the park, in the station wagon. Everybody just sat in their seat and passed out, because that's what we had. Yeah. I wanted to get out and lay in the grass, but it was so wet from the fog and the dew, right? Yeah, totally. Another one of these things here. Carousel Ballroom. Country Joe and the fish. What do we got here? Press release. This is a press release for their tour, and a thank you letter from Hugh Hefner for them coming and playing on Playboy After Dark, right? So there's a thank you letter from Hugh Hefner to Jerry, Ron, Phil, Bob, Bill, Mickey, and Tom. All best, Hef. That's great. That's great. Tom Constantine wearing a fez. You saw that, huh? Totally. I like the ponchos, right? I'm gonna have to get one the next time we go to Alvarez Street in Hollywood, in Los Angeles there. Or have somebody bring me one from Mexico. Yep. Chapter 4, No Simple Highway. Is that Pigpen? Because he looks pretty thin. Yeah, it is. Denmark 72. Right, so he didn't last too much longer after that. And then we've got this great collection of photos. That's pretty cool. Keith and Donna. Okay. Totally. People's Radio. These are really cool. These reproductions of the little posters. That's really bitchin'. That's a great one. That's totally the New Riders. That's bitchin'. Totally bitchin'. Designed by Stanley Mouse, was dedicated to Cassie. Oh, bitchin'. Bitchin'. That was one of my favorite songs during the 95 tour, was hoping they'd play Cassidy. Yeah. Oh, this is a great one. This is a great one. This one, there's a bumper sticker. There's nothing like a Grateful Dead concert. And it's an actual bumper sticker. And then this poster. Totally. This is a great poster. And then I like this. This is the expenses for the band in 1972 on the tour in Eugene, Oregon, right? Jerry is not on here. Jerry is not on this thing here. He will not be put on a list. He will not be told how much money to spend. But Phil Lesh gets $30. Bob Weir gets $30. Keith and Donna get $30 between them. That's weird. Dan gets 30. Rex gets 30. Ramrod. It's Ramrod. Kreitzman. Is Ramrod, is that Jerry? Parrish, $45. Candelario. Is one of these guys Jerry in disguise, right? $45 to Racine. I see the amount of days here. There's more days for some people. But this is really cool. Oh, that is awesome that you've got a poncho. The total on this is $2,869 for August 27, 1972. Yep. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. Art. Oh, come on. Sticker went in there first. That doesn't work. There we go, babe. Oh, it doesn't go all the way in. That's why. That's why. There we go. Dead Freaks Unite. I don't know what this is, but I'll try to give you a close-up of it. I don't know what it is. I try to get with no glare on it. Apparently it's some kind of poster, right? I'd have to have a magnifying glass to see any of that. But there you go. Do it yourself. Just do it. Just do it. Summer Jam. 1973. And they're here. Pigpen and his schematic for the wall of sound. Wow. Of course it wasn't like this, was it? I think this is the new wall of sound. 73. Yeah, because the original wall of sound was an actual wall, right? It was something that was just huge and massive, right? And they just kept stacking and stacking and stacking. If I'm recalling correctly, shake it down now. Totally. This flappy. Inside the flap is a postcard announcing the Dead shows, Fox Caroline Theater, or Colony, the Fox Skyline in San Bruno, California, Walnut Creek, California, October 5th through 18th. Wow. Wow, man, that's heavy. And then Saturday night set list. And let me go ahead and share that with you there. And let's get that set list up to the camera. It's totally cool stuff, man. Right? And with a copier you could reproduce this postcard here and actually mail it. That's totally cool. Ooh, look, another envelope. Another one. What's in this one? What's in this pocket? Oh, that's cool. Guest pass for the Pyramid show, right? Back in 78. Egypt 78. Now that would have been bizarre, right? Right? As you read this, the Grateful Dead will be in the studio recording a new album. Ooh. Ooh. Jerry Garcia along with Merle Saunders on organ, John Kahn on bass, Mario Fierro on saxophone, and Ron Tutt on drums. Now I've got an album around somewhere here that's, or at least I used to. Maybe I do. Merle, or what was it? Saunders, Garcia, Kahn, and Vitt. That was a good one. Totally, eh? Totally, so yeah. There's that. It's just a little letter to people that probably came to them in the newsletter, right? Totally. And then here's a poster, or rather a program for the Egypt show, right? And that's pretty crazy because it's written all in Egyptian, ancient Egyptian, so I don't even understand what it says. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, right? heavy. So, yeah. I don't know if they were big over there, right? But apparently, big enough. Bertha, you're falling behind. Am I falling behind? Sometimes I fall behind too. No, I'm still caught up with love. Alright, that's some more cool stuff. Totally, eh? Dead Reckonings. Where are we at now? 79, 84. Sheesh, eh? Family Tree. The Grateful Dead Family Tree. Wow. And this is through 83. Opposite from top, Grateful Dead Family Tree, map of the interconnected groups centered on the Grateful Dead through 1983. Wow, and then a poster for the 1980 concert in New York. So that's pretty cool. That's a neat poster, Radio City. Radio City. Munchkin Hole. Ooh, naked people. Ooh, I see a coochie. Ooh. Cover yourself. Let's see. 1985. Wow. Yeah, this is a great book. I wish, yeah, spin-off bands and whatnot. Postcard for Christmas. Christmas postcard. Yeah. Just totally. And then, okay, this is something that's probably right up your alley. And this is, let me get it right here. Karina. Shake It Up, Baby. Handwritten calendar of every set list performed by the Grateful Dead in 1986. So that's what that is. A handwritten calendar. Starting in February and ending in December. Wow. So if we zoom in on one spot, you can check it out and see how it's got the dates and the set lists. That's crazy. Somebody sat and did all of that. I know, I can't help it. That once that song gets in my head, I'm all day long. Shake it up, baby. Shake it up now. Totally. 20 years so far. There's a good one. A lot of these things are just look really good on the wall in a frame, right? And I'm so glad that whoever owned this before I got it at their thrift shop just had the presence of mind to keep it all together, right? Bob Weir and a dog. That would be, it doesn't say. It's just one of those family photos. Uh-oh. Alright, what's up with this? Look at his face. Look at Jerry's face. Everybody's being silly here, but Jerry's being ultra silly. He's like making an old grandpa stink face. Totally, eh? It's crazy, eh? Miracle. I've been miracled. Dead in a Deck. Great. Deluxe cassette. Totally. Robert Hunter for Grateful Dead Productions, Inc. There's a letter here. Dear Deadheads. Counterfeit ticket warning is what that is all about. So there you go. Irvine Meadows Amphitheater. 88. That's the show. That's the show. That's the show that I saw. Oh my God. I'm glad we didn't get counterfeit tickets because we had to get tickets from a scalper. Totally, eh? Totally. Yeah, eh? So many roads, eh? Chapter 10, 92 to 95. Heavy duty. Heavy duty. Heavy duty. Okay, this is cool. These are actual uncut backstage passes. Wow, from 92. And again from 92. And they're heavy duty, man. They're awesome. Awesome stuff. Epilogue. Further festival. Bibliography. Acknowledgements. Totally, eh? Totally. Totally. And this book is 2009 print. First edition. And there's that. Because, you know, that just sits behind me there, eh? You can pull it out and enjoy it every once in a while. It is an awesome book. I wish I could share it with you completely. I gotta heat this up. I will be right back. Don't go nowhere. Pose me a question. There you go. Totally, eh? Totally. Eh? Eh? Oh, totally, eh? Alright, here we go. I'm back, baby. Alright, what do we got here? Benjamin Button. Okay, Benjamin Fong Torres is an American rock journalist best known for his association with Rolling Stone magazine and the San Francisco Chronicle. That is totally cool. Well, San Francisco Rolling Stone, I guess that's what, you know, anybody working there, that would make them a knowledgeable on the Grateful Dead. San Francisco. I remember the movie Presidio. Mark Harmon, Sean Connery. What is that girl? The girl who played on the Grateful Dead. No, not the girl who played on the Doors movie. Looked it up. Prices range from $25 to $35. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool little investment. What did I pay for it? I took the price tag off. I'm going to say I probably paid less than $5 for it. It was in the book section, and the books are usually like $3 for the hardcovers, I think. So maybe as much as $5 or $6. So yeah, that was a good deal. But the movie Presidio from the 1980s, I believe, Mark Harmon, Sean Connery, and it took place in San Francisco, and out on the Presidio there's this naval base and academy, and there are older buildings and stuff, and we went there in the 80s and stayed out on the Presidio in an old naval building complex, and part of it had been turned into a hostel for bicyclists. And since we were on motorcycles and they had room, we were allowed to stay. So there you go. And we hung out, me and my friend, we hung out on the Presidio, getting high, hiding from his old man, who was a corrections officer. And the neat part about the tour that we were on is we were going up California all the way to Oregon, and down California on the other side of the mountains, and then into Nevada. But the whole trip was so that we could visit like 6 I almost said concentration, but correction camps, correctional facilities, prisons, right, for better prisoners. So it was a place where you had more freedom to do stuff. You worked a lot, so they had a lot of different prison projects and jobs. Some places were heavy on automotive. Some places were heavy on creating with wood, because they were in the forests. There was one place that we went to, and it was like everywhere you went, they were working with big, giant slabs of wood and making furniture and tables and all kinds of stuff, right? It's crazy, crazy. I remember going through one of those prisons down in it was near Crowley in Northern California, Crowley Lake, and we were there near this prison, and we did the tour, and we're going through the prison, and there's this guy mopping floors, and we actually, almost stumbled on the guy, and he says to us, "Hi there, I'm a convict. I guess it's part of the tour." And he kept mopping down the hall. Great guy. He was funny. Anybody can have that sense of, hey, it's okay, I'm just doing my thing. That was pretty cool. It was called the Green Tortoise Hostel, San Francisco. Is that what it was? Because I know about that one. Okay, so it's the one that's got that big track, right? It's got that big track out front, and the building kind of sets back in the trees a little bit, and it's really nice old brick building with the columns. It was a really nice old building. And from what I remember, that's what it looked like. It was this big brick building. All of the buildings were like red brick, but it was right off of a track, an athletic track for jogging, running, field and track, that kind of thing. And that's where we went. We walked out on that and walked around the track out to the end and got high and then came back. But that's cool that you know about that hostel. Green Tortoise, huh? Wow. I don't know if it was called the Green Tortoise. I know that below San Francisco, there was one, and it was at a lighthouse. And we tried to go there, but they weren't accepting motorcycles there. And they said, try this one. So we went on further up to just past over the the bridge, got off the Golden Gate Bridge, went down, went around, came down on a road, went under the Golden Gate Bridge, came out on the other side, out onto the Presidio area, and went around, got access through there easily because he was ex-Navy and current, you know. So it was, we went out there and got directions to the place, and it was cool. It was cool. It was totally cool. But it was right out there, you know. And then, of course, we had to get in and eat. He made dinner, and then he did his work that is required staying at a hostel. You have to take a card. San Francisco proper. No, we were out because we were, you know, motorcycle traveling, so we were trying not to go through the city. The inn at the Presidio. Okay, that sounds cool, totally. But it was neat. We picked a job card, and there were easy jobs, and we ate our dinner, did our jobs, hung out, poked around, saw what was going on, and passed the fuck out. Got up early the next day, had breakfast. Yeah, nice national park there, totally. And then we took off, and we were up the coast, and then we went up to like Fort Bragg, Fort Ord, whatever that is up there. Fort something up north. And there was another correctional facility up there, and then we went all the way up into Oregon, up to Medford, and then came back down the other highway. And that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, man. Coffee. I don't know what's going on today. I don't. I really need to get motivated. You know? I really need to get motivated. I need to get my motivated. That's what I need. What I need is another bong hit. Alright, well, I guess it's time to think about what I'm gonna fucking do. I gotta do something productive, right? Oh, video time machine. I gotta work on the video time machine. I've always got tons of elements hanging about, commercials and shows and music and stuff to put into an episode. But I have to then fine-tune the episode to this week and who we've lost this week, things that we've talked about, and that kind of stuff. So I try to make a few little notes so that when I do the time machine, it kind of feels like not just a wrap-up of the week, but a wrap-up of the week back then somewhere. A wrap-up of somebody's life. Yeah. I was just thinking about starting to begin like an autobiographical obituary, right? Something that I can write that upon my release, it is, you know, kind of given to the world so everybody knows what happens, right? It's either that or I just fade away, right? And nobody knows nothing, right? I think the best thing I can do for myself, since I'm the only one who really knows me, would be to do some kind of, besides this, do some kind of autobiographical statement, I guess. I really want to do some more documentaries on my whole show. Let me see this. I'm worried about my friend Steven. He has ticks for the big days between Shindig at Golden Gate Park, but doesn't have updated. But I have an updated current passport. We're getting on a plane. Okay, so my wife says that if you don't have a real ID when you go to the plane, you have to take that information that would get you your real ID. Okay? So you need two forms of ID, which is your California, or what would be your state ID, driver's license or ID, and then it would be two forms of proof of residence. Something with the address that corresponds with the address on your ID. If your mailing address is different than your physical address, make sure that whatever you get, the bill has your mailing address, and then your account information will have your original address. Make sure both addresses are on there. Your physical address is the important thing. And then after that, make sure that you have your birth certificate and your social security number. You can fill all of this out online through the DMV, and then take in the information to the DMV and get your real ID, and then they will give you a temporary paper that says your paperwork is done. Then you take that to the airport, or you take that and the documents to the airport, or you just take your documents, your birth certificate, the two forms of residency, your ID, and whatever else is required. You just take that to the airport and use that, right? My wife said that they will accept that in order for you to be able to travel. So there you go. And it's easy for a citizen to do that. To just take the information in and say, I'm waiting, my appointment didn't, I couldn't get an appointment in time, or here's my receipt for having gotten my real ID, and here's the paperwork that I gave to them, just in case you want to see that. Or just go there and say, look, this is all I got. I didn't get there. This is what I got. And you should be able to fly, no problem. We just went down Tuesday and got our real IDs. So they gave me a little receipt that says this is your temporary. So that should work to travel. And it doesn't take long. If they go down and get it now, right, he should have it within a week or two. It doesn't take long. Oh, I guess it's the 31st, so maybe not. So if you can't get there to do it and get your real ID, just take the information that is required for you to get the real ID. You have to probably stand in a separate line so they can go through that, right? So, you know what? Take all of that information with you. We had to Social Security, birth certificate, two forms of proof of residency, a couple of bills with your address that matches your then ID that you have to have. ID or driver's license. Take all of that information and you should be good. That's what I understand. So there you go. I hope that helps. Hope. Yeah, he should be good. Just all you got to do is be nice, have a good story, and do the best you can. And usually you're okay. Nowadays it gets a little weird, but you should be okay. Like I went to the DMV and we talked to 1, 2, 3, 4. We talked to 5 people there at the DMV that worked there. People who helped us, and we had to sign in and do this and stand in line and get helped and sign in and do all. So we had like 5 people that we talked to. Only one of those people, 1 out of 5, was a total nag, total bitcheroni, right? Which is pretty good odds. So hopefully you'll have good odds at the airport. He couldn't do all that because he just sent through his dad to the hospice. Yep. His partner just passed this month. There you go. I would do that. I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. Totally. because that's the best you can do. You know, things are changing so fast that we can't keep up with them, right? I didn't think, since 23, I didn't think I was ever going to get a real ID. I've never flown. I've never had a reason to fly. Some people just don't have a reason to fly. I've never had a reason to fly. So I never figured that I was going to have a reason to fly, right? Things are different now, right? So my daughter got a real ID because she's going to fly to Chicago to go see a show. And I thought, all right, well, maybe I should get a real ID too, in case I got to fly to Chicago to see a show, or at the last minute, or I got to go to Chicago for some reason, or I got to go somewhere for some reason. Maybe I got to go to Mexico. Maybe I'm going to fly north. You never know. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. So I figured, what the hell? Z papers in the order. Yeah, exactly.
Sign the papers? Where are your traveling papers? Do you have some? Yeah? Yeah? Hear me now? And sign the papers later.
Totally. And a good Nazi accent. SS.
Sieg Heil, Kommandant?
Ja, jawohl. Jawohl. Right. This is, I'll tell you what, man, right here. This is the only ZZ papers I need, man. Right here, man.
Sign the papers. Excellent.
Totally, eh? Totally. Yeah, that's the way it feels, We can't cross the state lines without showing papers. You can't fly without your traveling permit. People don't see this as weird. The average American is just going along with this. That's what puzzles me. That it's come so far and nobody's griped about it, right? And by nobody, I mean the populace, right? Most of the people are they just put their head down and say, okay, whatever, right? And we've been doing this for so long now that it's beyond out of control. It's totally beyond. It's beyond. I don't know. People don't see this as being anywhere near the conditions we had back in World War II in Europe, or in what was that, East Berlin? Come on. We're going backward. You can literally go to places where we've traded, have more rights and freedoms in other countries now that used to be horrible, and now they're vacation spots. People are depatriating from this country to go live in Italy and shit because they're just done, right? They're like, oh, fuck this, man. We are drinking Moosehead beer exclusively in protest. What are you gonna do? There you go. That's why I don't go to Walmart. I'm protesting, so I don't give Walmart my business anymore. I give it to my local California corporate supermarkets. Eventually we have to go there once a month to pay bills because it's the only fucking game in town to pay your bills, unless you want to pay extra fees and do it online. So we do that. We go there for that, and then while we're there, that once a month trip, we might do a little bit of shopping. My daughter can only get some of her cosmetic stuff there. I can only get some of my nutritional requirements there. And we'll stock up a little bit on dog food while we're there. But what are you going to do? We try to shop. It's way more expensive to shop at the other stores. But I just can't keep giving Wally World my money, right? Not with their policies. Their open door policy to ICE and closed door policies to the average, person. And it's like that. It's like that in some places, you know. I don't like the fact that people will line up to leave Walmart just so that they can get their receipts scanned and have somebody look into their cart to make sure they're not ripping them off. I walk right by that person every time. It's not their fault. It's has nothing to do with them. It's this corporate policy to check everybody leaving their store to make sure they're not a thief. I told when I first did that, I told the first person who tried to do that to me, I said, you know what? If you think that I'm stealing from you, you call the fucking police right now and you have them meet me in my car. Otherwise, tackle me or get the fuck off my ass. I had to tell a guy that. And he went, whoa. From then on, the policy was if somebody didn't submit to showing receipt and a random cart fucking check, right? Then the policy is now, have a good day. So they give you this guilt, have a good day, right? And I would just say, have a good day. Or, or fuck you, or bite me, a fucking Nazi, and their policies quickly change. I can't believe how many people will stand in line to leave a fucking store when they've already paid. Are you kidding me? Where are you from? Where are you from that you would submit to that fucking bullshit? Fuck you. I push past those people. And they look at me like, how dare he not submit like the rest of us? Fuck you, you moron. Standing in line to leave a store. I've already stood in 3 fucking lines standing in store, right? Alright? I had to go to the fucking cosmetics stand and pay for shit over there, right? And then I had to go to the electronics center and fucking pay for shit over there and stand in fucking line. Gotta stand in line at the fucking deli counter, stand in line at the register to pay. I'm not gonna stand in line in another fucking line to leave the goddamn store when I've already fucking paid. Here's my receipt. Chase me to the fucking car and tackle me if you think I'm ripping you off. I'm in here every fucking day. Fuck you. Yeah. Exactly. Freedom is a muscle. Exercise it. They're fucking sheeple. They see a line and they get into it and they stand there for 20 fucking minutes before they ask, why am I here? Why am I in line? Because you're a fucking moron, that's why. Get out of the line, people. Get out of the box. Get out of the cage. Take the fucking shackles off. Put your fucking phone down and live. And live. This thing, I miss so many calls on this. Not that I get many calls. I miss so many calls because I don't have this thing on me. I don't keep it with me. I keep my other phone here that's my internet, YouTube phone. I keep that one away from me as well. Every once in a while, I'll grab it, I'll pick it up, I'll go, oh, look, a message, somebody responded to a post, oh, somebody called, somebody sent me a text. Otherwise, I don't want to fucking see those things. When the phones had a cord, right, and people had those cordless phones in their house, and they'd walk around the house with the cordless phone in one pocket and the remote to the TV in the other, right? That used to bug me back then. It's like, when does that phone charge? It's always in your fucking pocket, right? Oh, I can't talk because the phone needs to charge, right? Well, that's because you carry it around in your fucking pocket. What are you, important? Yeah, and now people are just surgically attached to their fucking phones. If somebody gets into a place where there's no service at all, they freak the fuck out. They go into DTs. They start sweating. They start shaking. I'm not kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. They're hooked. It's a fucking an addiction. And that's exactly why alcohol hasn't been completely fucking banned, because of the money. They know phones are harmful. They tried to roll out 6G and it killed 1 million fucking people, right? They blame it on a sickness. Yeah, sure. We're the fucking sickness, right? Because we fucking buy into this bullshit just so that we can buy into more bullshit, right? And then where does the bullshit go? It goes to the landfill. Gives us cancer, you know, turns our kids into people we don't fucking know. Yay! I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Oh! I don't have to wake her up this morning. She's already awake. There you go. I can just keep drinking coffee and smoking bong hits until 7 o'clock, and then I gotta get off and get dressed. Oh boy. Well, it's a good thing I'm awake. You know, fucking A. Fucking coffee. Fucking pain. What a pain. Alright, well, it's getting a little late, so I'm going to take a look at one of these TV guides. This is 1978. Let's take a look at Thursday. Prime time on Thursday. Hollywood Squares. David Doyle, Bosley, Charlie's Angels. Joanne Worley. David Doyle. George Gobel. Harvey Korman. Paul Lynde. Vicki Lawrence. The night the lights been out in Georgia. Shut up. Suzanne Summers. Dennis Weaver. Jonathan Winters and Shelley Winters. Wow. The Winters. The Winterses. That's fucking great. That'd be a great show. Okay, at 8 o'clock, 1978, August 3rd. Welcome Back, Kotter. Tut, the Boy King. How appropriate. We were talking about that last week. Waltons. Poldark 2. Carol Burnett and Friends. 8:30, What's Happening? Yeah. Some other crap. Barney Miller at 9. Rockford Files as well. Hawaii Five-0. Monty Python's Flying Circus. World Documentary. A rare glimpse of the life in North Korea. Ooh. Star Spangled Girl. Sandy Duncan, 1971. 9:30, Harvey Korman. I think that's one of those shows that I have on a video time machine. Check it out. Check it out. I don't list what's on each video time machine, so if you want to know, I'll look it up for you. Otherwise, you just gotta watch the show, man. I won't give it away, man. There's no way. 10 o'clock, Barnaby Jones. And an evening at Pops, Glenn Campbell. Starsky and Hutch at 11:30. Marlon Brando movie at 12:05. And then that takes us into tomorrow morning, right? Before it gets too late, let me break out a box of 8 tracks, because we were going to look at some of those. So let's look at a box of 8 tracks this morning and see what's in this one. I don't know what's in this one. We're going to have to look. We're going to have to see what's in the box, because I don't know what's in the box. Alright, I don't know what's in this 8-track box, but it's probably 8 tracks. So let me go ahead and put this on here, and that there, and let's see what's in here. Okay, here we go. We got Kansas, Point of No Return. There we go. There's that one. This is playable. And this is what, Aerosmith? Aerosmith's Greatest Hits. Right? That one's a little beat up, but it's been repaired, so it's playable. We got Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. It's a cool one. I don't have this on LP. Dire Straits, I do have on LP. I love this album. Van Halen. This is Van Halen. That's a good one. Oh, Mom's Awake. Here we go. Here's another great one. I love this one. This one I do have on LP. The Mamas and the Papas Greatest Hits. Right? That's a great one. Check out Mama. She's badass. She's a badass. Get in there. Rush 2112. That's cool. Totally cool. Good morning, Sam. We got Rush Permanent Waves. And then there's another Rush that goes here, but I've got it out for an upcoming show. Led Zeppelin Presents. There should be a sleeve and a little booklet that goes with that one. And Physical Graffiti. Right? This would have come in a brown wrapper cover. Totally. Like a brown bag, eh? Like a brown bag, eh? Steve Miller Band. There you go. That's a cool one. 74 to, what is that? 80 something? 74 to 75. There you go. ELO's Greatest Hits. That's a great one. That one's ready to play. Young Americans, David Bowie. I'm going to have to put that with my David Bowie collection. I have to take all of my 8 tracks and set them all out and then organize them because I've got this stuff spread out everywhere. We got The Best of Bread, Volume 2. Right next to The Best of Bread. This would be Volume 1. Both I have on LP. Another one that I love from that era, the Blues Brothers. I've got a few copies of this. All right, here we go. This is one of my favorite LPs of all time, and it is Rocky Horror, and it's a great brown cartridge. It's awesome, and it is playable. It's totally another great one. Sweet Desolation Boulevard. Right? This is a great one. This is a great one. Ballroom Blitz. There you go. AC/DC. That's another great. That's a great song throughout the whole thing. My arm's getting tired. Dr. Hook, Pleasure and Pain. That's a great one. That's totally great. This is a great box of cartridges here. Jay Giles, Freeze Frame. Totally. And James Taylor's Greatest Hits. This one will usually have a sleeve that's got all of the photo stuff on it. And there you go. That's that. That is my semi-full box of 8 tracks. And there you go, baby. There's that. So I got a couple of more over here. We'll look at some other time. So the Beggars of Sotil is the story, the 4 o'clock movie today. So check it out. It's an African tribal story talking about how they deal with strangers in their community, in their African village. So there's that. Check that out. Tomorrow is Friday, so we get to talk about my favorite thing, me. And we're going to talk about morning rituals, stuff that we used to do in the morning as teenagers. You know, a lot of girls that I knew literally got up like 2 hours before they used to, just so they could do hair and makeup and wardrobe and all of that. And then there was at some point, us guys found ourselves doing the same thing, getting up hours early so that we could get ready and do all of these things before school. So we're going to talk about that, and I've got a couple of surprises. I got some alarm clocks from back then, so we'll take a look at some of those. What I really need to get is one of those that has the little flipping numbers on it that flip. That's cool. So check that out. And then tomorrow's 4 o'clock movie is The Backstreet Six. And it is about 6 kids, inner city kids, who are up to stuff. So we'll check them out on Friday. I am going to be hard at work today and this evening preparing the video time machine for tomorrow. And last week it was a bit rough because people kept dying I had 11 RIPs I had to do, and I was really, really hoping to get more stuff, more elements, more, video to use of some of these people. And it just got really, really hard to keep coming up with. So I did a couple of the people and got some elements on there. And it took forever because I had to come back and remove 2 items and swap them around and add some new stuff because a couple of the items that I'd picked out just didn't work copyright-wise. So I had to give it the boot. So I got rid of some stuff and had to pick out some new elements, and then I had to take those and do a check on those before I went through all the hassle of using them and then finding out that I couldn't use those either. So I did copyright checks on a few items so that I had something to choose from. And I'm glad I did that because of a couple of the things that I wanted to use, I wasn't able to. So I re-edited it and re-uploaded it, and then realized that I had forgotten to remove a little 30-second commercial. So I let YouTube do it. And it took a little bit of time, but I was able to let YouTube do the edit on it. I said, okay, just trim it out. If it's a problem, trim it out. And it did. It took like a half an hour. And then it was booted up. It was booted up a couple hours late, but it was there. And I do like that episode. So I so enjoy putting these shows together. They're just a lot of fun, They're just a lot of fun. All right. I am going to heat up my coffee so I can do one more last hot sip of coffee and bong load for the morning here. I'll be right back. I'm just going to heat up my stuff. I am going to turn the sound off so I can say good morning to my wife, and I'll be right back. I've been bamboozled. She went outside. So, there you go. I was bamboozled. Really dig those time machines because I never watched movies or TV growing up at all. Oh, cool. All right. Excellent. Are there any shows you heard about that you might want me to put in? Just really scary films in church with titles like The Rise of Islam. Oh, jeez. The Thief in the Night series about the rapture. Wow. That is heavy. That is heavy. I gotta get my pen here. Yeah, da 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 do da da do. The Thief in the Night. Dorley, let's see what I can dig up. Ark. Hi, dog. Good morning, little doggy. He's like, you ain't got nothing to chew on. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, darn it. Yeah, so hear me now and think about it later.
Sign the papers.
Totally. I better drink this coffee and smoke this bong hit and get rolling. Oh, hot. That's good stuff. It's good. It's good. I got a lot of stuff to research for this video time machine, so I really have to get on it this morning. What I'll probably do is I'll probably research a bunch of stuff, organize my episode, which means take the file in my computer and create a file for the rest in peace portion, and then hand select the different elements for the episode, the Betty Boop cartoon, the opening musical sequence, find the episode of Read All About It, and then pick out the educational films that I'm going to put in there, the shorts, the short movies. Hopefully something that fits with what we've done this week. Get try to get an animated short in there, and try to get it all together, and kind of tie in everything from this week and what's been going on this week and what was happening this week on TV, because that's why we do the TV guides, and then I write down little notes, and then I'll try to find something from something here, right? So that's good stuff right there. That's good stuff right there. Totally. Oh, let's do that again. I need that again. All right, it's time. Kitchen's open. It's the dogs are getting excited. Mom's doing coffee. I'm thinking about having some hot cereal. Good old hot cereal. You know what? When I was a kid, I never had the regular breakfast thing. So now that I'm older, I really enjoy having the same thing for breakfast every day. As mundane as that sounds, I really love it. And every time I have that, and I think about having bacon and eggs and a big greasy meaty, it just turns me off. And I'm like, oh, give me my cream of wheat, please. Biscuits and gravy with maybe a little tiny sausage minced up into it. That's about as much as I can do. Other than that, nah, I'll just do hot cereal, I love that I have that morning ritual that I never had as a kid. I mean, a lot of kids just had cold cereal in the morning, but they had it every morning, right? I didn't have shit. Growing up. I'd leave the house hungry, get to school. Hopefully I got there in time to grab something to eat and then get to class late, Yeah. All right, last bongski. Totally. Okay, so tune in tomorrow. We're gonna look at some stuff from morning ritual stuff, and we're gonna talk mornings, teenage mornings, right? High school, junior high, that kind of stuff. I haven't changed. I'm one of the most unchanging people I know. So, I never like eating in the AM. You know what? That's the way I am now too. And I'm not usually hungry until later. I just have to force myself to eat something so that I will be hungry later. But back in the day, I was just always wishing I had something to eat, right? Totally. So all I wanted was some food. And it got to the point to where I would literally steal money from my parents in the morning to go down to the donut shop and get an apple pie, a little apple fritter, and a little thing of milk, and then I would walk to school a couple of miles down the road and eat, and then I would also steal pot from my parents, and I'd roll up some joints, and I would take those and I would smoke a little bit, stash it, and then at school I would sell a joint or two to my fellow students so that I could buy my lunch, because my parents didn't do the lunch program. So I was fucked. So I blamed it on them because they were just too proud or ignorant or whatever to sign us up for the lunch. I guess maybe they didn't want the state to get involved, right? So they just didn't have a sign, and everybody else was like, why don't your parents sign you up? And I'm like, I don't know. So I would have to sell joints to get a couple of bucks so that I could buy something to drink and something to eat. And that's how I got through junior high school, the 8th grade. Totally. So that's one of my morning rituals, and we'll talk more about that kind of stuff mañana. But until then, thanks for hanging out with me, Susie. It's been totally cool. You know, I don't like hanging out alone. So take care of yourself. I will see you mañana. Mañana. We also had somebody else stop by this morning, right? And who did we have stopping by this morning? We had Craig Simon stopped by this morning for thank you, Craig Simon. And hopefully I'll see you again. I know you were just coming home and going to sleep, so take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, Susie. I will see you in the mañana. And until then, y'all know what to do, right? Take care of each other. Spread peace and love, not bullshit, right? We need more love and less hate. So let's try that. All right, let's try that shoe on for size. Be kind to each other. You know, do something for yourself, but do something for somebody else too. Why? Because it makes you feel good, makes somebody else feel good, makes the world a better place. You know, like that. So do that, people. Most especially, stay weird. If you ain't weird, ain't nobody gonna be weird for you. You gotta put in the work, you gotta put in the effort, you gotta put in the time. Go out and be nice to somebody. Do something for somebody with no, payment necessary. That'll weird people out. They'll be like, wow, that guy's weird. He didn't want any money. He's just a nice guy. Do they make those anymore? I don't know. All right, people. Take care of yourselves. I will see you tomorrow. Love you so much. And, of course, adios.